everyone? So a lot of new things are happening this year with Gretsch, and I thought I would just take you through some of the changes and the dynamics, and it's very, very exciting. I think I'm going to actually start on this side. There's a brand new line called the Streamliners. This is the entry-level Gretsch. It's all right. Can you move over a little bit, please? These here are the Streamliners. And this is now considered the introductory Gretsch guitars, average around $500. They have some unique features, one of which is these pickups are specifically designed for this guitar. And I believe that these are more in the mid-range kind of sound, these pickups. So they still have that great Gretsch sound, but it's just a little bit different than all of the other Gretsch. They're making some juniors, they're making some full-size, double cutaways, very exciting colors, a really, really fine addition to the line, and they average just around $500 to $600. A really, really nice guitar for not a whole lot of money. Over here we have the Caves guitars. This was a limited edition, run of 12 guitars. These are the last 4 that we have left. Caves is the artist, a Brooklyn artist. He owns a tattoo parlor over here. He is formerly of the Lords of Brooklyn, which was quite the rap/rock group, I guess, of the 80s, and was one of the first of that genre, and they did quite well. We're going to step now a little bit slow. You guys might have seen the boot. Steve, help me again. Thanks. Let's go to this direction. So over here, all of you guys who have not been paying attention have been thinking this is just the Electromatics. You guys haven't seen these yet. They're not released till Tuesday. So this is the brand new Electromatic line. They made some very, very nice improvements. Does anybody know what they did on these Electromatics? That might be a little different. Well, yes, there's a blue one. That never existed before.
No Electromatic on the headstock. Or green.
No Electromatic on the headstock. That's correct. It just says Gretsch now. This is an older edition. It says Electromatic. This does not. Anything else? Can anyone else tell me the difference in these guitars?
Tell us how many lefties you got.
We are loaded with lefties. We are focusing on the left-handed players today. Thank you, Fred. And we have the lefties in the Electromatics also. So a few other appointments they came up with that was very, very cool and unique. Age binding, where the old one had more of the white binding. The coolest feature, okay, I gave a hint on that.
Master volume.
Yes, but
But?
what's the difference with this one?
I don't know.
Treble lead.
I guess something.
Treble lead, yes you do. Yes, Joe Carducci the same. Yes, that's correct. So you have a treble lead. You can lower this volume, and you will still have that same sound all the way down. The treble never reduces.
Wow.
Okay, that's a really nice feature. You also have a really cool, smaller headstock on it. Just slightly smaller than the old headstock. Of course, you also have some now with gold editions. So they've done a really fine job on this. And the pricing is still the same as the old ones. No increase. Over here, you have more of the traditional Electromatics. You have some center locks right here. All of these guitars are all below $800. Very nice. Single cutaways, double cutaways. Our limited edition, this was a special run just made for street sounds. The natural. Only have a couple left of those. We have 24 of those made. This amber also was a limited edition made just for street sounds. 24 of these. We have maybe 3 left. That's about it. And clearly one sold today. On this side, we have the Pro Series. Up top, we have the Golden Era, which will also be called the Vintage Select. Most of them have a lacquer finish. They're designed to be very original to the original builds. We have the Player's Edition, which is designed, yes, for the player. So the idea on this is a little bit of a thinner body. It's 2 1/4 inch. You have the pinned bridge on all of the Player Editions. You have locking tuners on all of the Player Editions. And they're designed to play. They're designed to be comfortable on stage all night long, so you do not have to switch out if you're doing one of those 4 or 5 hour gigs. Very nice job they did on these. I believe these also have ML bracing. Yes, you can. Come on over, David. So ML bracing was designed by a gentleman named Mike Lewis, who is an engineering genius. And really, when FMIC, Fender started taking care and building Gretsch, he was the gentleman that really went over all of these models and tweaked them and brought them up to current specs. And his design is to give you virtually no feedback, but yet still give you a nice open, airy sound. And that's a very tough thing to achieve. Mike Lewis has done it.
I want 2 microphones.
Go ahead.
Well, the reason why I have 2 microphones is because I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth right now, so I am a salesman. One of the most dramatic changes on this instrument is the fact that it's a straight-through Bigsby, cylinder, whatever you want to refer to it as, rather than the vintage pinned Bigsby, which is wonderful. It's vintage. It's the way it's always been. It's fantastic. But if you've ever tried to change a string, even in the comfort of your own home with plenty of time before your show, heaven forbid you need to change a string in the middle of a gig on stage. We've all been there. Pinned bridges. The pinned Bigsby is a challenge. What they've done now is they've just basically cut a hole right through the center of it. They've relieved it so that the ball end of the string fits right into the center of the shaft very comfortably, and it has made this a modern Gretsch versus the vintage slide Gretsch. How tough it is. But the whole purpose of this was to bring in Gretsch guys that aren't Gretsch guys. That are like, I got my 335, I got this, I got that. The hardcore Gretsch guys, they don't care. They'll fight the fight, morning, noon, and night, in the worst weather, the worst circumstances. Gretsch just are what they tattoo on the device. These we're trying to bring in new people, show them a new way, and address a lot of the concerns that they had, the unconverted, by making very, very modern appointment decisions. Like Rocky said, the thin body, the ML bracing inside, which is a trussel bracing, but it doesn't have the front trussel and the back trussel, so it allows a lot more air to be moving around inside, so you don't lose some of that acousticness. Acousticness? You need both microphones. So there's, any objections like, well, now they aren't going to ring as loud, completely wiped out. The strap locks. I love my Gretches. I love the little, thread-on, wheels to hold them on. When I'm bending over to adjust my pedal board, I am nervous. Strap locks, again, modern Gretsch. We went with the rocker bar bridge for tuning stability. As much as the Tune-O-Matic is really wonderful for tuning, the rocker bar bridge sounds better and it's a little easier on the strings gliding back and forth. Strap locks, so the tuning stability, player stability, strap lock stability, string stability, it's all about, this is Gretsch of the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
My arms are tired.
Okay, do we have any left-handed players here today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So, I highlighted many left-handed guitars today because usually the left-handed guys say, nobody cares about us. Where's our guitars? Well, they're all here. Many, many left-handed guitars. We have our basses over here, and we even have a vintage Baldwin era bass. If you guys have kind of enjoyed, check out, feel free to take it off the wall and play it a little bit. It's a committee bass. Over here, ours was designed by street sounds. These are not regular production guitars. You cannot call up the Gretsch shop and say, send me one. There is none. You have to order it, wait an average of 6 to possibly 12 months now, and it starts with a block of wood, and that's how they do it. There is no prefab, there's no woods coming in from Toronto. This starts from scratch in California, and I've seen it happen. It's very, very amazing to see the way it's produced. Steve, would you like to say something about maybe one or two of these guitars or something? I mean, these are your builds. Every one of these guitars you have touched, you've handled. What would you like to say?
Well, this year at NAMM, Rocky and I, we sat down and he got crazy with the white, the aged white. And so you can see we have 6120. Rocky likes to always change things up a little bit. So this one we have the P90 pickups, and it's aged white over Fiesta red, and it's really the aged white looks great. They get with the red. And here is a guitar I call the 6158, and this is based off the Anniversary Junior. And I call it the 6158 because I was born in 58.
Oh.
That's right. And my wife was born in 61. And I looked back and there was no 6158. I thought, oh, I'm going to call this a 6158.
Way to go.
And it has a custom designed inlays that I did a few years back. The diamond, open diamond, closed diamond motif. And we put the cat's eye F holes on there. And Rocky wanted to simplify this, so we just did the master volume. And it features Brian Setzer Filtertron pickups built by TV Jones. He's around. Somewhere in the audience.
Tom here?
There he is.
Tom?
TV.
Tom is TV Jones.
Okay, you can put it down now.
I'm stuck.
Come on, man. We rehearsed.
I'm into it. There's a lot of pressure.
Don't give me your excuses. Okay. When Rocky was out at the shop last January, I had this fingerboard in the bin. It's a plain maple fingerboard with ebony thumbnails. And like I said, Rocky likes to change things up a bit. He goes, oh, I'm going to put this on a guitar. He wanted that fingerboard. So we came up again with the aged white, the black binding, similar to one that we did for Mike Campbell of Tom Petty, but with the plain maple fingerboard and heavy relic. And Rocky has a fascination with 3 pickups, you can see. I guess, he never owned a 3 pickup guitar. So he always wanted one. Maybe he was suffering a bit from pickup envy, I don't know. But, so you can see he orders a lot of 3 pickup guitars.
So the funny story on this is, I asked Steve if he ever made a maple neck Gretsch.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, no. I said, so you're going to make me the very first one? He said, yes. So, of course, I posted, and I'm very proud to have the exclusive first maple neck custom shop Gretsch ever made. And, of course, I'm posting that proudly on eBay, proudly on my website. And then a gentleman sends me a text 5 minutes later with a photo attached to it for proof that he owns the very first
My apologies, Cameron.
Gretsch custom shop Cameron. What a series of guitars from me. So luckily he didn't get angry at me. But apparently this is the second maple neck Gretsch custom shop ever made.
You should have insisted I bought that.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much.
talk about one more guitar here that I was really admiring yesterday. I was standing over there and looking at the wall, and it's a 6120. And it's basically a combination of the 6120, a 55 model, and a Roundup. And it has the leather Roundup trim, and the belt buckle tailpiece, Dynasonic pickups, and the knotty pine top, which I bought myself at Home Depot. And so,
Steve, I'm sorry, you bought that at Home Depot?
no. Just kidding.
There you go. Yeah, this is the drawing board.
Oh yeah, this was what?
So this guitar, Brian Setzer had purchased a guiar from me, he had bought a few, and the last guitar he purchased was a Falcon. And he called me, and unfortunately he couldn't get used to the scale length and the 17-inch body. You all know Brian plays a 6120, it's a little bit smaller, a little tighter. He goes, Rocky, I can't get my body around that guitar, I love it, I'm sorry I have to send it back. I go, it's no problem, no problem. So he goes, what do you have being built right now in the custom shop? So I said, Brian, I got a knotty pine 6120 being built. The guitar is going to be awesome. So I connect him to Steve, and he changes some of my build. It was in the process of being built, so he decided he wanted a relic, and I don't know if he did anything else. I think that's
I think that was just
he
it.
wanted a relic. I wanted an NOS finish, but he wanted a little bit of relic.
I added the curly maple.
So the guitar does arrive, we're real proud of it, and Brian was touring, and we were going to co-sponsor one of the events. So he said, Rocky, why don't you just bring it to me, and we'll do the transaction at the show. I'm like, okay, great one. So I go into his tour bus, which of course is super cool. I'm picturing myself on the Brian's tour bus. And I'm at attention. I mean, I am a little bit nervous. Brian says, sit down, relax. And he starts just plucking, unplugged. And it was, of course, if you think Brian is unbelievable on stage, plugged in and live, you should hear him just tinkering around in a tour bus acoustically. It was probably the most spectacular thing I heard in just a couple of seconds. And he looked at it and he goes, it's nice. Let me keep it overnight and try it out a little more. So I said, all right, I'll be working the next night's show, and I'll see you there. So, of course, you see the guitar is still with me, don't you? Okay. So apparently, the only mix-up we had, can you hold it up? What is it missing that Brian always uses? That's correct, the Bigsby. So this one came back with me. But Brian loved it, he was very pleased with the build, and I just thought that would be a cute little story.
Nice story.
This has been played by Brian.
On his tour bus.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. We might need another CD on that one there.
So we're gonna, yes, we can head up front.